cosa que la familia está unida. Ahí por lo menos te compensa la gana de leche.
Hey guys, Jarad here. Welcome to this week's video. You notice I'm in a tank top today, so forgive the nip slips in advance. The reason I'm in a tank top is because the title of this video is I got a new tattoo. So, I told you guys last week that we went to Puerto Rico on holiday, and while we were in Puerto Rico, I decided to get a brand new tattoo. This will be my 4th tattoo, and I love getting tattoos abroad. So just a little FYI, when we go somewhere, well, actually in the last 2 years, I've gotten 4 tattoos, which is kind of crazy because every time we go to a new place or I feel inspired sometimes. And yeah, so this last one happened in Puerto Rico. And most of the time when we're going somewhere and I have this like enlightened moment of I want to get new ink, it's because there's something happening or there's some sort of new event or something I want to mark the occasion with. And then sometimes I just like coming home with my own souvenir that I get to keep forever. And obviously a lot of these tattoos that I've gotten is something that I've thought about before and I've wanted for a while. I just don't want to do it at home while I'm in South Florida. Yes, we have great tattoo artists here. I'm positive. Friends of mine have used. I just don't necessarily feel motivated, or I don't feel that like, oh, you know, I'm down in Wynwood or I'm in wherever and I want to stop in. So I just never do it. So when we're on a trip, I say, what the heck? I have a couple hours to spare, so let's do this. So just kind of give you background on my other tattoos before we get to the new one. My first ever tattoo, the very first one, was this one. This guy right here. You can see. Pop, 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 pop. So this is a Hamsa, and this is it's a Middle Eastern symbol. Basically, the whole purpose of the Hamsa, it wards off evil and kind of discards negative energy, and then it brings good fortune to its owner or to the person that is wearing it. And it obviously has like the evil eye and a couple other symbols in here. This was my very first tattoo. It has a very sentimental place in my heart because I got this tattoo in Barcelona, which is probably my favorite place in the world. I love Barcelona so much. Hopefully I get to retire there very soon. Hint, hint, husband. And so I just love that city. And so we were, you know, walking one day to the Sagrada Familia, and I saw this shop that I had seen on Instagram, and I said, you know, what the heck, let me just kind of stop in and see if they have availability and tell them what my ideas are. And I walked in, the tattoo artist that I've seen before, he was available the next day, but he could do it. And he showed me, you know, basically we collaborated with a design after he's seen the inspiration photos I provided, and there you go. And so basically it took about 3 hours. I fell asleep actually, my very first tattoo. I fell asleep on the table as he was doing it, and it was great. I love this tattoo. It will always have a special place in my heart. And another part of the reason I love it so much is because right after I got this tattoo, we got home, and then 30 days later, less than, we had Jagger. So I think it served its purpose. It's still serving its purpose. It brings me lots of happiness, or a lot of happiness has entered my life in the last 2 years, and my son, which is the happiest event of all. So yeah, so that's why the Hamsa, I love it. The next tattoo I got was this bad boy. So this is the symbol. It's a Hindu It basically derives from the Hindu culture. It's an, well, the meaning or the definition of it's an all-encompassing, it all encompasses the essence of the universe or the ultimate reality. It unifies everything in the universe, and each curve on this symbol, it represents a state of consciousness. So this one I got in Puerto Rico actually. Last year, or 2019, we went to Puerto Rico again, briefly in the summer, and it was something I had, and this is another tattoo that I had wanted, another design that I wanted, and so I went to the same place that I just went to get my tattoo, different artist, and yeah, so I got this one done. I love it. And I love all of my tattoos, so none of my tattoos are something I regret. I put a lot of thought into them. Obviously, I waited till well into my 30s to get my first tattoos, so it's not like a spur of the moment. I wasn't, 18 in Vegas and I decided to get a tattoo. No, all of these tattoos have such sentimental meaning to me, and they're something that a lot of thought went into. So this is one of them, and it wasn't. None of my tattoos were painful or anything that I was like, okay, no, stop, don't do this. But it was definitely my most uncomfortable tattoo to date. It was a little bit rough on the shading and things like that, but I got through it. It's a lot of detail, as you can see. I'll get closer so you can see there's a whole lot of detail in this tattoo, a lot of line work. And so that one, just, it was very meticulous. And so just kind of, didn't feel as good, not like this bad boy, which I slept through. This one I sweated a little bit. And then so the third tattoo I got was in June. Oh well, and the reason I got this tattoo was kind of marking our son's first trip to Puerto Rico, which is, like I said, my husband's home country. So I wanted to kind of mark the event of, hey, look where we went, our first trip to Puerto Rico, and you can see your dad's island and enjoy it. So, your other dad got a tattoo to mark that. And then my husband actually got a tattoo while we were there at the same time. He actually got our son's name tattooed on his arm. So it was tattoos for all. Going with that theme, the next tattoo I got was in New York. So this is, as you can see, weird angle, but it's my son's name. So I got this tattoo in New York, and so this was my son's birthday, actually. We went to New York for his first birthday, and we spent, a couple of days there. It was actually during the same weekend as World Pride, so we were there, and again, had time to spare, so why not? And yeah, and I want to wear my son's name. Obviously, it breaks the no names on for anyone else tattooed on my body, except for his. And I love him so much, and I always want to wear him on my arm, where I look down, I see his name, I think of him all the time. But it's just kind of nice to have something to mark such a big event, obviously his big first birthday. And yeah, it's my favorite. And so I met a great artist there in New York. She was fantastic. We hit it off right away. Yeah, and I'll actually put all of the artists that I've used and all the tattoo shops that I've gone to. I'll put them in the link below, just in case you may be inspired to, while you're traveling and you want to get a tattoo, or you live where one of these artists works, so you can go get your own. But yeah, they're all great. I, had great experiences with all of my tattoo artists, so it was really amazing. So yeah, so this is, my little Jagger tattoo, and so I love it. I love the line work. I love that it's so clean and just, it's simple. It's, in the script that I wanted. So I just love it. So yeah. And so getting to my newest piece of work, this tattoo was a tattoo that I wanted for a kind of a long time. It's probably second long. Like, I wanted the Hamsa. That was always my first choice. The newest tattoo is probably my second choice. And this is actually the Ganesha, which is basically, or Ganesha to tomato, tomato. So it's the elephant head. And so this is another Hindu symbol that basically it's the remover of obstacles. It's the patron of the arts and sciences, and it's the god of intellect and wisdom. And so I wanted to get this symbol for a long time tattooed on me, just because I love the meaning of it, and I love that all of my tattoos have that kind of I'm not a religious person. I would consider myself more spiritual, so I do like what the symbols stand for. I do kind of go towards the Hindu and the Buddhist cultures, religion, and that kind of speaks to me and who I am. So that was one of the ones that did speak to me. And I also wanted to include the lotus in the design. And so that, obviously the lotus is all about purity and new beginnings and rebirth. And so that is something I really, again, I'm going through a new period of my life. And so I think both of those symbols together kind of encompasses where I am right now. And so that's another reason why I wanted that tattoo at this time. And so let you big reveal, and this is a tattoo. So I got it on the back of my arm, on my tricep, and so it's so much detail and so much like design that I love this tattoo so much. This was actually done by Che in Puerto Rico at the Color Conspiracy. I love this tattoo so much, and I don't know, I don't have, it's like they're all like not my children, but they're all like so special to me that I don't have a favorite, but this is like my favorite. I love this tattoo so much. From start to finish, the process was just so easy. Met with the artist. He had such great energy, such positivity. We just hit it off right away, and the whole process was just, seamless from start to finish. I gave him, again, inspiration photos. I don't like to have any artist that just takes what I give them and just recreates it. Obviously, they just trace over it, and I don't want that. I want something to be completely mine, something that has me incorporated and my ideas incorporated in them, not just something that, I pull from the internet and then, you just trace and slap on. That's not what I want. I want there to be some sort of collaboration. I want there to be your, obviously your talent, my vision, and have those two things mesh. And Che did a fantastic job. 20 minutes later, after I gave him the photos, he had something drawn up that was completely different and custom, just for me, and that was like the best experience. So from start to finish, it wasn't painful. I laid down, we got it done, and it was just, I don't know, it was the best experience of getting a tattoo that I've gotten thus far. I just loved it. I love working with him. I will probably go back to him multiple times when I think of something else to do, or if I want something else. I definitely will put him at the top of the list to do some more work. And so this is like I said, I show you again, just to show you how much like detail goes into this. It's just from the elephant trunk to the eyes. It's so real and so just like lifelike, and the line work is so clean. It's my favorite line work yet. The colors, the lotus on top, I just love it. I don't know. I just can't say enough about this tattoo. As you can see, I've been showing clips from the whole tattoo process. It's just great. I don't know. I can't, just at a loss of words. It's literally, I came back home and, I got compliments on it right away. It was just crazy to have people like, oh, I like your tattoo, and it wasn't even healed yet. So obviously I couldn't feel any of this until, this bad boy completely healed, and it did. And I was actually, I found this great product. I'll put the link below. It's probably my favorite tattoo ointment, Aftercare ointment, that I've used to date. I really liked it. It only has 3 ingredients. It's great. And maybe I'll show it to you. Give me 1 second. And I'm back. So This is the Dr. Rogers Restore Healing Balm. So I'll show it to you right there for all you tattoo lovers. This stuff was amazing. It's a little pricey. I think it was like 30 bucks, 28 bucks or something. And obviously the tube is not that big. It's only 0.5 ounces. But it's great. The tattoo healed beautifully, very quickly. And like I said, it only has 3 ingredients. So I think that's also key when you're talking about a tattoo. Your skin is already exposed in the healing process, and so I think the least amount of chemicals and things like that is the best. And I don't have color on any of my tattoos. I only like black ink, so that's my thing. But it definitely helps with, you know, making sure that it doesn't fade, and that just keeps everything nice and hydrated and doesn't kind of overhydrate, which is also bad for a tattoo. This stuff was pretty amazing. So yeah, that's my tattoos. And you know, like I said, I waited this long to get tattoos. I got my first when I was 30. And so I think it means a little bit more than if I had gotten them before, just because, like I said, a lot of thought went into the tattoos, and they weren't spur of the moment. They were actually, you know, they were spur of the moment when I actually found the place and did it, at least for this one. But it was something that had already been thought about, had already thought about the process. So I was like, why not? And yeah, so here we are. So I just love them all, love them each and every one. And so we'll see what happens next, what other things or symbols or whatever I come up with. Maybe this is it, maybe not, probably not. I mean, I love it. I don't know. I don't think they're painful. Yes, I know I've gotten them in very sensitive spots for the most part, but I don't know. Maybe because I have a high pain threshold or something, but I think the whole process, I just kind of zen out and I meditate during the whole thing, and I just kind of get it done. I mean, after you get the first kind of line and you feel like what it feels like, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a bunch of mosquito bites, I guess. That's how I can explain it. It's not like a needle, like you're not getting like an injection, but they're little needles and they just kind of like hit you, and then, you know, your artist takes a break, cleans it off, you know, starts again on another spot or while he's outlining. And so it's not really like a continuous, like constant, like, you know, drilling into your skin. There's breaks in between, and you just kind of, you know, take your breath, go back in, and 10 to 15 seconds later, they get the lines done and you breathe. And so I enjoy it. I have had all positive experiences with all of my tattoos. All of the artists that I've used have been great. We've hit it off, great energy, great just kind of communication back and forth. And it's been wonderful. So we'll see. I might get something else. Maybe I'll get a tattoo here where I live. So if anyone knows a great tattoo artist that they love in Miami and South Florida, let me know. Maybe I'll try them out for the first time. I don't know what's coming up that I'm like, well, let's commemorate this event. But you know, things happen every day. Life is always changing. Life is always evolving. So you never know what you'll celebrate next. So yeah, so that's it. So all of these are bare. I still have all of this bare. I don't know. Do I want a sleeve? What do I want? I don't know. But right now, I like the fact that I can pretty much hide my tattoos. That was another thing that was big for me, because I can, you know, if I go out, like if I'm wearing this tank, you know, most people don't know, obviously, until like I lift my arms or whatever. This is probably the most visible tattoo of all, like the Jagger tattoo. Yes, it's at the front of, or on this part of my arm, but you know, I don't walk like that, so it doesn't really like stand out to people, and it's so thin and beautifully done that you don't really notice it right away. And you know, like I said, this is probably the most visible one. So if I'm wearing like a short sleeve shirt, you can obviously see it from behind. But again, it's not the first thing that people see, and I don't have a problem with tattoos, obviously. So I don't really care if they're visible or not on other people. But for me personally, I just wanted something where the tattoos were for me first and foremost. So I know that where they are, and I know that they're there. So they're all personal to me, so I really wanted that to be reflected in the placement of my tattoos. But you know, like I said, I'm not gonna get a neck tattoo or face tattoo. That's just personally not my thing, but to each his own, whatever floats your boat, go at it. But I won't do that. But you know, I'm not opposed to one on my arm here or, you know, further down. Like I said, if I want something else around here or whatever, I'll do it. But for now, these tattoos particularly, I want it just for me, or where, you know, I can love them. And if I decide to show them off, I absolutely can. So there you go, one last look. There you go. So you can see that bad boy. And here you go. Jagger. This is such a weird angle. And there you go. So those are my tattoos. So until next time, folks, I'll see you later. Oh, and one more thing. Hello, like, subscribe. Come on. If you like what you're seeing, want more content that's coming, come on, subscribe. Hit that button. Hit the button. Bye, guys.